TheWaterwhispers, Ilse. Hello, everyone. I don't know about you, but I can absolutely smell fall season in the air, even though it's technically still summer. It is cold. I am wearing a sweater. I have a really hard time warming up because it always takes me about 3 weeks to transition between seasons. It's a pretty clear day, but you can just smell fall in the air. I turned on the heater in the house for a little while now, I think about the last 2-ish weeks or so. And every time when it becomes colder, I always become weirdly nostalgic. And I'm not entirely sure why that is, but it's probably because I associate it with something from my childhood. And it also made me weirdly nostalgic to do something in terms of ASMR video. That is also nostalgic. Let me put it beside me. So if you've been with me since the Stone Age of ASMR, you will remember this trigger. If you are relatively new, however, you won't know that this used to be popular back in the Stone Age of ASMR. So, there was a time where we discovered the amazingly tingly, oddly satisfying sound of tapping on screens, and in particular phone and tablet screens. So this became a thing, and like I said, if you've been with me for a while, you know this trigger. I actually made a few phone tapping videos myself in the past. So today I was like, you know what? I am going to take out the entire phone collection that I have, which isn't that many, but it's 4 phones right now. And these are phones that I've been using. Well, I don't use 3 of them anymore, but these are my previous phones. I think these phones are 10 years. Goes back to about 10 years, I think. Something like that. I don't know, man. I don't keep up with the phone trends and what model comes out when. But I have 4, I mean. I have this one, which is an older phone of mine. I don't even know the model. It says Samsung SMA115. That must be the type of phone because the case is see-through. I have these in a drawer, and I absolutely do not know why I'm keeping these, but I have them. So we'll just, make use of them today by tapping on them. Then I have this one. I am an Android user, so this is another Samsung phone. Let's have a look at what the model is on this one. This one is the Samsung SMA520, 32 gigabytes, A520. So I think this one came after this one, since this one is the A115. This is the A520, and then we have a Nexus phone, and this phone was my absolute favorite phone. I just love how small it is. I also was just in love with the what do you call it, the protection, the case. Let me see if I can take this off so I can see what phone this is. One of the reasons why I loved this case is because it really protected my phone, which also means it's hard to take off. Oh my goodness. Ugh. Almost. There we go. Wow, it is really stuck on there, which is too bad. There's all this residue of the glue on here now, but yeah, this was an LG phone, Nexus. You see all the markings from the case. It's really too bad. Yeah, that really messed up. Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna put it back in the case. And all these phones are still working. You can still charge them. I just don't use them anymore. One of the biggest reasons why I stopped using them is because they became really slow and the battery would die very quickly. And then now we are with my most recent phone, which is the Samsung S22. And I just bought a new case for this 3 weeks ago, and I bought a pop socket with fish, and I am absolutely in love with this. So anyways, we will start with the oldest phone, which I believe is this one. They all have a pop socket. And I am just gonna go and tap on these things until I can no longer tap on them anymore, until I run out of willpower to do so. So let's get started. My nails aren't super long, but they're not super short either, so this should be enjoyable. If you do not enjoy tapping videos, this is where you want to tap out. Okay, let's go. And of course I will be tapping on the front and the back. The video wouldn't be completed without both sides. Another reason why I stopped using most of these phones is because there were no longer any updates coming out for those models. They were too old. So stupid in my opinion. It's just a money-making business, phones. You buy the newest model, and I'm pretty sure they already have 2 or 3 newer models ready to launch, but they don't. And then they make things nowadays so that they break after the warranty. Didn't used to be that way. I feel so old saying that. But yeah, they just don't make them like they used to. Remember the Nokia? The popular Nokia that you could drop off of a skyscraper and that thing would still work? Try doing that nowadays. I don't think so. So basically all these phones, except for the Nexus because it got messed up by the case, are all in pretty much impeccable condition. There's no scratches or anything like that. And this phone was definitely too large for me. The phones became bigger and bigger, and I refuse to use phones that are too big. I think that the Nexus was the perfect size, especially after coming from this phone. And after I started using this, I was like, I never want to have a phone that's bigger than this. But then, of course, they stopped making smaller phones because that's how it goes. So the phone that I currently have is slightly bigger. But the last two phones that I've had are the same size. So, yeah, as you can see, this is still bigger, but it is still smaller than that one. Look at how big of a difference that is. Like, what the heck? That is so crazy. So yeah, this is my favorite size in terms of phones. This one, never again. If I want to have a tablet, I will buy a tablet. I don't need my phone to also be a tablet. I had no idea this was going to be a phone review video, but here we are with tapping. I'm having fun making this though. This is fun. Oh, that's kind of loud. Let's not do that again. So yeah, this is the Samsung SM-A115. Yeah, I can't remember. I think that is the oldest. And then I think I had this one. After that, this case is a little bit messed up. It has a pop socket, just a single camera, and it's in, just good condition. This case sounds a bit more dull than the other one. I'm going to be quiet now for a little bit and just do some tapping. So that was the Samsung. This one is probably in the worst condition out of all of them. Samsung SM-A520. Samsung A520. Well, this case is really, maybe I should keep these phones without the cases, honestly. If I want to keep them, then I can sell them for a lot of money in 30 years when these things are like from the Stone Age. Okay, then the next one is the Google Nexus phone. I just discovered that something weird is going on. My camera has been recording for 17 minutes so far, and normally it cuts off at the 16-minute mark. So I have absolutely no idea what is going on right now. I guess we will see when it cuts off. But yeah, I was going to press play again, but apparently I don't have to. So let's continue with the Nexus phone. Small taps. This case also sounds very different. I think this one is probably my favorite in terms of sound. I'm just zoning out over here. I hope you are too. This case sounds really nice to me. Let me know down below if there's any in particular that you like the most. was the Nexus. And then the last but not least is my current phone. And this phone is a little over 2 years old. I got this one in not last year's summer, but the summer before that. And I still love this phone so much. I just bought a teal case for it, and I wanted to find a pop socket with fish that would match the teal, but I couldn't find it, so this is the only pop socket I was able to find. But I love it. And the phone itself is also a teal color. Samsung S22. And yeah, this is my absolute favorite look in terms of, what a phone case could look like. This is just so me. It's not even funny. So yeah, I will be tapping on this one. I just got this pop socket like 3 days ago. I ordered it from Amazon. And I just got this case 2 weeks ago, I think. In terms of how this case, it's my favorite one in terms of how it looks. But in terms of sound, it is and will always be, I think, the Nexus one. It's just a different kind of plastic. And this one is slightly textured. But of course, there might be people out there, such as yourself, that might like the sound of this one better than the one that I like. It's buzzing. It's working. Accidentally touching it. Sorry if the buzzing sound is annoying. It is actually on Do Not Disturb, but I do have the vibration on. It's a loud cement truck that just drove by. it just keeps buzzing because I have a previous customer of mine that bought some aquariums from me messaging me. She wants to buy an aquarium. I really love fish and aquariums. Can't wait until I'm used to this cold again so that I can be comfortable in the cooler air again. It has ridges on the side of this case. Let me see if it will focus. There we go. It has ridges on both sides. Almost sounds like a zipper. So yeah, that was my Samsung S22 with the fish pop socket. I hope that you enjoyed this little phone tapping video. I know that some of you have requested role plays for quite a while now. I just don't really know if I want to do those anymore. At least the more technical ones. But I will ask you, however, is there any other sound trigger from the past that you would like me to do again, bring back? If that's the case, comment down below, and I will do my best, my very best, to be back next week with a new video. I have actually done quite a lot this summer, so yeah, there are certain things I haven't told you about, like little adventures that I've been on and have done. So if you want to hear any more of my adventure storytelling videos, let me know. I actually really enjoy making those for you guys. So with that being said, I would like to wish you a good night's sleep, or a beautiful day, and I will see you again